नमस्कार, मैं सीए मनमोहन जिंदल, registered valuer in security and financial assets and ex-Canara Bank from Mumbai. Today we shall discuss on principles of auditing that is very much required in the course of the social auditor. So, what is auditing? Auditing is the process of checking the financial statements along with other accounting information of the business entity. We all know, as a chartered accountant, as a professional, we all know auditing that is not a hidden part of the definition. So it is a systematic procedure where the economic conditions of the entity is analyzed. The person taking up the responsibility of the process is called the auditor. Auditing is an important process for the company, the investors, the government, creditors, and the shareholders. The list is only illustrative one and not the exhaustive. The companies, investors, government, creditors, shareholders are dependent and take decisions on the basis of the audited report of a company. They are very much rely on the audited reports to make an important business decisions. So it is a reliable report of the auditor on which the society takes the important business decisions or important personal decisions. ISO 19011 includes these 7 auditing principles: integrity, fair presentation, due professional care, confidentiality, independence, evidence-based approach, or risk-based. So now audit principles are very important and the auditor has to adhere invariably these principles. So while conducting the audit principles should be adhered and followed by the auditor. It is a prerequisite for providing audit conclusions that are relevant and sufficient. It enables the auditor in working independently from one another to reach similar conclusions in the similar circumstances. If two auditors work on the same company, so due to the formulation or due to the adoption of the audit principles, almost similar reports will be generated. Auditing principles helps to make the audit an effective and reliable tool by providing information on which an organization can act in order to improve its performance. So, what are the principles? Number one, integrity. It is called the foundation of the professionalism. So, integrity is the utmost. Auditors and the individuals managing an audit program should perform their work ethically, with honesty and responsibility. Only undertake audit activities if competent to do so. यदि आपको आता है तभी कीजिए. If you are competent तभी assignment लीजिए, वरना रहने. Perform their work in an impartial manner that is remain fair and unbiased in all their dealings. Be sensitive to any influences that may be exerted on their judgment while carrying out an audit. Sometimes we have seen that a pressure came out from the promoter, from the society, or from other circumstances. So you should be sensitive to any influence that may be exerted on your judgment while carrying out. Number two is fair presentation. The obligation to report truthfully and accurately. It is the obligation of the auditor to report truthfully and accurately. Audit findings, audit conclusions, and audit reports should reflect truthfully and accurately the audit activities. So, true and fair view of the activities is the mantra. Significant obstacles encountered during the audit and unresolved diverging opinions between an auditee and the auditee should be reported. The communication should be truthful, accurate, objective, timely, clear, and complete. Number three is due professional care. It is an application of diligence and judgment in audit. Auditors should exercise due care in accordance with the importance of the task they perform and the confidence placed in them by the audit clients and other interested parties. An important factor in carrying out their work with due professional care is having the ability to make reasoned judgment in all audit situations. So, situations can vary. So, auditors should have the reasoned judgment and completely confidential. It is the security of the information. You should have the layer of confidentiality for the information. Auditors should exercise discretion in use and protection of the information acquired in the course of their duties. Audit information should not be used inappropriately for personal gain by the auditor or the audit client or in a manner detrimental to the legitimate interest of the audit. तो ऐसा कोई काम ना करें जिससे ऑडिटी को नुकसान पहुंचे। आप ऑडिटी की इंफॉर्मेशन को अपने पर्सनल गेन के लिए और अपने दोस्तों के गेन के लिए यूज नहीं कर सकते। तो यू शुड maintain utmost confidentiality. The concept includes the proper handling of sensitive or confidential information. यदि किसी और को देनी भी है, पास ऑन भी करनी है, तो भी सेंसिटिविटी के साथ और कॉन्फिडेंशियल के साथ देनी। Independence. We all know that independence is the basis of impartiality of the audit and objectivity of the audit. It is very, very important that auditor should be an independent person. Auditor should be independent of the activity being audited, whatever practicable, and should in all cases act in manner that is free from bias and conflict of interest. For internal audits, auditor should be independent from the function being audited if practical. Auditor should maintain objectivity throughout the audit process to ensure that audit findings and conclusions are based only on the audit evidence. आपको इधर उधर से लेकर के कहानियां बना के नहीं लिखना है. Every conclusion should be based on the audit evidence. Where it may not be possible for the internal auditors to be fully independent of the activity being audited, but every effort should be made to remove bias and encourage objectivity. Evidence-based approach, the rational method for reaching reliable and reproducible audit conclusions in a systematic audit process. So, every conclusion should be based on the audit evidence. Audit evidence should be verified. यदि बाद में इसको वेरीफाई करना पड़े तो किया जा सकता टाइप का होना चाहिए. It should in general be based on samples of information available since an audit is conducted during the finite period of the time and with finite. तो हमारे पास एक finite पीरियड होता है, एक थोड़ा समय होता है जिसमें ऑडिट करते हैं और फाइनाइट रिसोर्सेज के साथ ही समय करना पड़ता है. तो सब 100% आप नहीं कर सकते, तो सैंपल्स लेने पड़ते हैं इंफॉर्मेशन के और बेस्ड ऑन the available information, and that should be general and in random. An appropriate use of sampling should be applied since this is closely related to the confidence that can be placed in the audit conclusions. Risk-based approach. It is an audit approach that considers risk and opportunities. The risk-based approach should substantially influence the planning, conducting, and reporting of the audits. In order to ensure that audits are focused on matters that are significant for the audit client and for achieving the audit program objectives. So, risk-based approach is very, very systematic approach of auditing. सो दिस इज फ्रॉम माय साइड. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. नमस्कार.